Are you guys ready for some March Madness action? The climax of the season, transpiring in this very episode. Welcome back to the series, guys. In last episode, we had the, March Madness selection show. We found out that we would be playing Campbell in the first round in Tampa, Florida, and we'll face the winner of the familiar Fordham Rams. I actually met their starting five if you want to go back a few episodes. And UCLA. And already some shockers happening in our bracket. The Winthrop Eagles beating the Michigan State Spartans. We don't have to worry about the 2-seed Michigan State Spartans anymore. Fordham played great in his first tournament game. His Wildcats defeated the UT Arlington Mavericks. And looking down his bracket, everything pretty much going according to plan except for the 3-seeded Louisville losing to WKU in the first round. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Connecticut losing to Wisconsin to Green Bay. That is two prestigious 3-seeds that are going out early, having early exits here in March Madness. We'll try not to emulate that, as we are also a 3-seed. Donovan has not played his first game. The injury-riddled NC State Wolfpack playing the outside shooting Oregon Ducks. And we'll come back to Miami, Florida. You guys see they're playing Florida in the first round. We'll come back to that game. And of course, the top-seeded team in the entire tournament, the Duke Blue Devils with Deshaun Christian, they are playing UNC Greensboro. But finally, all that aside, we are going to jump right into this first game here against the Campbell Fighting Camels, led by Tristan Graham, sophomore, who's averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds on the year. He's their go-to guy, so if we're going to win this game and not have the same fate as some other 3-seeds early on here, we're going to have to shut down Tristan Graham. And to be honest, I'm just going to get out of this game. We're going to jump in here, we're going to take care of this game, and we're going to jump out because I'll just spoil it for you guys. This game was not very close. These guys are running a 2-3 zone for most of the game, and you can't do that against our team. Our offense is just too powerful for that. 2 assists here already for me in the stat sheet, and they played a press and then went back into the 2-3 zone, and that was just a recipe for disaster as they continue to let shooters open constantly. Quick pick and roll here, and wide open is Chris Hines. The defense, collapsing on the cutting Anaganye, leaving Chris Hines wide open. They can't do that. Mitchell Drew finished with over 20 points. Anaganye had a double-double. Great game for everybody. I'd bring it to the top of the key, and all I need is a little screen to get me open. That's a good play that we like to run against that 2-3 zone because, all I need is a little bit of space to get up that mid-range jump shot. Got a big man on me. You guys already know my favorite play to do. Whenever I got the big man on me is to take it all the way. Crossover to finish over their defense. How about that? Help defense was just a tad too late. Bumped me, but couldn't get a good enough contest where I'd miss it. Guys hyping me up, and you can see me and Mitchell Drew have finally kind of made up after the whole, the debacle there at the club that he brought me to. We've definitely made amends. And I had a good game in this one, 18-8, but Mitchell Drew was the star of the show. The turning point in this game is whenever we held Tristan Graham to 11 points and 3 rebounds for the entire game. A far cry from 18-10, right? But let's go back to the bracket. Let's see what's going around. And the winner of the Fordham UCLA game, you see the Fordham Rams knock off the Bruins. That's a bit of an upset, as a lot of people had UCLA knocking off Fordham. And of course, these guys try to recruit me. I've met their entire starting 5, so it's pretty funny how we're going to be matching up here. Not bad blood per se between these two teams, but I'm definitely going to be out here trying to prove something, proving that I made the right choice to come to University of Texas. I'll definitely have a chip on my shoulder in this one for sure. Back to the bracket though, let's look at some of the other games in the NCAA. Oklahoma State and Kansas meeting up again. Rhode Island and Arkansas, they'll meet up in the round of 32. Our bracket's pretty much going to plan right now, except for the Michigan State game. Other than that, everything looks about good. So if we win this game, we'll face the Virginia Commonwealth Rams. Ferron's Wildcats beating the Weber State Wildcats, and they have their ticket punch to the Sweet 16. He had another great game in that one. He had actually 18 points and 4 steals against Weber State. But let's go back to Deshaun. You guys remember early on in the year where he was, ecstatic to be a part of the Duke Blue Devils team, but that's quickly faded away as he's not even starting here in March Madness. Apparently him and Coach K have not seen eye to eye recently, and it's his frustration is starting to mount. So now he's getting benched in March Madness. So he's definitely thinking about transferring. It's like a real thought now. But hey, let's look at Florida and Miami. And I was very ecstatic to see that Florida just ran Miami off the court, and I'll tell you why. I never really give a proper explanation why I didn't go to Miami, but do you guys see this Clifford guy? Jerome Clifford? Yeah, this guy was a top point guard coming into the class. He's a freshman, 10 points, 6 rebounds, one of the best point guards in the ACC already. Yeah, I had no clue about him. They tried to recruit me and him and gave us no indication that there was 2 point guards they were interested in. That's the reason why I didn't go there. And when I went down there, everything was all superficial. They gave me that Audi, that rental car, and all that stuff, but it was really more of a heart-to-heart type of connection with me and Coach Shaka Smart and the Texas Longhorns. That's what really sold me. But anyway, let's look at Donovan Gray and his first round action. And hey, I gotta tell you, this NC State-Oregon game was a lot of fun to watch, especially how Donovan played. And potentially his last game as a college player, he went off. You see him using, putting the ball on the floor, finishing with that lethal jump shot of his, and shooting 84% from the free throw line on the season. One of the best free throw shooting big men in the nation. Donovan doesn't exactly block a lot of shots. He's still over 1 block a game, but he affects a ton. And of course, he's tenacious on the glass. And how about getting the rebound here, running the break, and popping that jump shot from the elbow? Another solid shot right there. Look at this stat line. Only 2 assists and 1 rebound away from a triple-double, but unfortunately, in the end, NC State would fall short. They were just so injury-riddled. It wasn't even fair. They're playing with 4 starters who have an injury, including Donovan. He's still dealing with a wrist injury, and that's just a testament to how he plays. He plays hard, he goes 110%, and he's been a little injury-riddled because of it this season. He's dealt with a couple injuries, but that's really the only worry for him in the NBA draft. And look at that, the 14th-seeded Green Bay, Wisconsin, almost making it to the Sweet 16, but instead Florida State, Washington State, all sealed their ticket to the Sweet 16. If we can knock off the 6th-seeded, the familiar Fordham Rams, we will be playing the 7th-seeded VCU Rams. That is Shaka Smart's previous job as alma mater, you could say, as he had a very successful run there. And VCU is a scary team because they have upset plenty of teams. They had that run where they were the 11th seed that made the Final Four, that beat the number 1 seeded Kansas. But we can't focus on VCU just yet. We got to make it out of here alive. We got to make it out of Tampa. One more game and we'll be in Houston, Texas instead of Tampa, as the tip goes to us. And here we go. We're playing Fordham. Starting 5 filled with guys that I've met before that tried to get me to play for their team. Getting started early is who else other than Mitchell Drew. And guess what Chris Hines says? He says, anything you can do, I can do better. Shot clock winding down, the hand in his face on the end line. Still gets that one to fall. 5-2 game here early. I got Melvin Ryan on me. Big guy, and I'll take that right to the paint. That will look like one of those moves that Marshall Cunningham, number 1, showed me while I had my visit over to Fordham's campus. That dish inside to Mitchell Drew will make it a 9-2 game. Now it's 11-6. That jump shot would be off. Cunningham didn't have the best game. Look at this dime up to Chris Hines, who's running the break. Once again, quick baskets in transition. 23-12 game. The lead staying at double digits for a majority of this first half. It's now 9 at this point. But I give it up to Isaac Ashley, right back to me, and they forget about me. I pull up from the baseline. I'll get the friendly bounce. That's 4 points for me. Only 2 baskets here in the first half. I'm not very involved offensively speaking so far in this first half. But how about this move right here on Al Jimenez? Number 21. Jimenez was just too slow trying to stay in front of me, as I also finished through contact off of the dirty crossover. 31-17 game here. Asked for a pick. Rolling is Anaganye. A nice finish over the outstretched hands of the defense. 33-19. We're controlling this game just like we controlled the game against Campbell. We have 0 steals as a team, but we're just playing lockdown defense, so it hasn't even mattered. And look at that. Everybody's sharing the ball. Everybody in the offensive 5 having at least recorded 1 assist. Just playing as a team. That's really what it's all about. I mean, that's really the difference between the teams that can win 6 in a row and make it all the way to the Final Four, and the teams that get knocked out early and can't win 6 in a row. I'd step to the line and make 2 free throws here after I drive baseline and get fouled. I think it's safe to say I made the right decision going to UT. And look at this play right here. If you're a basketball fanatic, you love that play. A screen up, I'm open off of that hard set pick. And on this play, this is just making it look easy. A spin move, pulling up in the face of 3 defenders. I'm making it look easy. And this was quite odd, but they started running a 2-3 zone, and I can beat that with ease. I just flash to the elbow, easy jump shot every time. All I need is a little bit of separation, and I can get my shot over most defenders, and that's what I do on this play too. That's how you beat that 2-3 zone. Just flash to the elbow. If you got the jump shot, good, take it like I'm doing right now. If not, I'll see if Isaac Ashley, Robert Saunders, or Anagani wants to cut to the basket, and I'll hit them on the block. That's the easiest way to beat that zone. That full court shot, barely missing from Cunningham, further cementing the bad shooting game he had. And we're moving on. 2 blowout wins here, 2 statement wins here early on in March Madness. 16-4, no steals unfortunately. A shot okay, a little under 50%, but hey, playing as a team, everybody's recording assists, everyone's scoring, everyone's contributing. That's really what it's all about here in the month of March for college basketball. VCU awaits us here in the Sweet 16 as we are in the Houston Texans Stadium, Energy Stadium. Of course, we're not using the entire stadium, as you'll see it's shrunk down in half, but anyway, we'll look around the rest of the March Madness bracket. As I want to take a closer look at that Winthrop game. Look at that. 17 turnovers as a team, while shooting 21 of 53 as a team. 50% from the free throw line for Michigan State. Just an ugly game for them. Kansas beat Oklahoma State as they ran them off the court. 23-point win there. Rhode Island upsets Arkansas. But, you know, I can't really even call that an upset anymore after seeing what UMBC did last year. Nothing really surprised me in March Madness anymore. But hey, this is an upset. West Virginia, beating us on one of the most heartbreaking losses of the entire season, gets upset by James Madison in the second round. Villanova crushes Virginia 81-61. So Ferran's Wildcats will be facing the Villanova Wildcats in the Elite Eight. That'll be a great game to watch. Can't wait for that one. Over in the East Regional, Deshaun's Duke Blue Devils are winning. You know, they're in the Sweet 16 against Austin Peay, but I mean, hey, he's still not exactly happy. He did have 10 points in 12 minutes against the Xavier Musketeers, but he just wants more opportunities to show what he can do, because his draft stock is declining. So he'll have to probably stay another year, and he's really looking to transfer. Like, that's basically a given. He's only told me so far, and that's because he wants the team to stay focused on the Final Four run, not on where he's going to go after he leaves Duke and transfers. The Shockers and Seminoles face off in the Elite Eight of Donovan's bracket, but looking back to our game, we got these dangerous VCU Rams. Everybody on this team can play defense, and I'm matched up against Zaire Hicks, a guy who's made a case for himself to be a pretty good point guard. You could even say he's one of the best in his conference. One of the best in the tournament, as he is second in the NCAA in assists per game, while putting up double-digit points as well. So I'll definitely be battle-tested here. As we're wearing our white, VCU's wearing their black and gold. Let's get this game underway, guys. VCU's a dangerous team. So many upsets they've had, so many runs. They have ended some great teams' runs here in March, but if you know that famous quote for March Madness, you can say it with me: survive and advance. Survive and advance. That's what it's all about here. As the tip's about to ensue, and the tip is up, and Moses Anaganye wins another tip for us. And we get the first possession of the ball game, cutting out Chris Hines. He's not open, so I'll move around the perimeter. Inside, dumping it down is Saunders to Anaganye, and we get the first points of the ball game in this one. Bit of a triangle set here, you could say, but look at Zaire Hicks, the experienced point guard, going back door on me. He's a very smart player, so I'll have to limit those opportunities for him. On this play, flashing to the elbow is Anaganye, and Chris Hines will drive the baseline. Going all the way with the defense draped all over him, he still finishes. Nice block in there from Hines too. Maybe he's starting to pick it up on the defensive end as well, as that's always been a bit of a flaw of his game. And on the same possession, I throw it into Saunders, who gets a little bit of separation there on the low block, putting that layup in. Hines wide open for whatever reason. I couldn't tell you why. That's 2 assists here early for me. 13-10 game. I'm getting trapped. You can't let this full court press damage our offensive flow as I take it all the way and I get fouled. I could get my first points of the day from the free throw stripe. As you know, it's automatic for me. I only made 1 of 2 though, but I do get on the board nonetheless. Now we're going to cut with 4 minutes left in the first half. I'm moving without the ball against that 2-3 zone as I'm on the wing open, and the first field goal of my afternoon comes with 4 minutes left in the half as that three-pointer is way off from Zaire Hicks. Moving it up to Chris Hines. At the end of the shot clock, no. That would have been nice to tie it up, but look at VCU. Not only hanging strong with us, they are in control. They are in the driver's seat. They have the 3-point lead going into the intermission. Like I said, we can't fall victim to these Rams. They always give everybody the upset bug whenever they play. And because we are having trouble rebounding the basketball, we're not forcing turnovers, and we're turning the ball over a couple times ourselves against that press. It's really not helping us, and those are the main reasons why we are down instead of up against the Virginia Commonwealth Rams. So we need to take better shots, don't panic on the press, and rebound better. But we don't do that immediately. Defense not locking up there. Oliver Warwick gets open, and he makes that bomb from way downtown in 3-point range. Pick and roll works to perfection though, but Isaac Ashley cannot finish. I hope this is not going to be one of those games where we just can't seem to finish layups and we blow it at the end, but I tip a pass. Chris Hines picks up the loose change and he's off to the races. No one's stopping him. 8-point game goes down to a 6-point game here as VCU's had a nice start to this second half of action, leaving me wide open. I don't know why I hesitated, but I still knocked down that 3-point shot. Chris Hines drawing the defense. Look at that. I hesitated. I just got to go right up with that. I can't be scared to shoot threes. I'm having the best season of my life at any level I've played at so far from 3, so I can't be scared. As I showcase that I'm not frightened at all as I come back immediately. No hesitation on that mid-range jump shot. Now I'm off the court. Chris Hines allowing an N1, and sometimes Chris Hines can be a little bit of a head case. He's upset and he even shoves away Albert Ford. You know, Chris Hines is a great player, but sometimes his energy can be in the wrong place or distributed in the wrong place per se, so to speak. Open off of the ball reversal is, you know, me. I'm wide open off that play numerous times throughout the season. Doing my best on Zaire Hicks on defense has allowed me to pick up 3 fouls in this game. And I don't know about you guys, but this didn't look like it should be my 4th. Are you kidding me? We're in the NCAA tournament and that's a 4th foul here? So Shaka Smart keeps me in, but now I'm going to have to play defense very loose. Leave down in the comments. Was that a foul? Did that look clean to you guys? I don't think I got him at all, but moving on. Trying to play defense half-heartedly is not my thing. You guys know I like to pressure the ball handler. But unfortunately, playing defense, lackadaisical mindset, allows a basket right there. But the ball reversal to Chris Hines will tie it up. Hines, the senior, does not want to lose. It's very clear. And look at him. Now he's using his energy in the right place, in the right spot in the ball game. Ball reversal goes to Cage, who gets blocked by Hines, his 2nd of the game. Pushing the floor, I dish it, and Mitchell gets fouled, and he's going to the line to shoot 2. He'd make the front end, and the second shot would go as well. We hold a 2-point game with 3 minutes left. We've done a great job digging ourselves out of the hole that we unfortunately set up for ourselves at the beginning of the second half. Things looked a little bleak there for a while, but unfortunately wide open, Oliver Warwick. You cannot leave the 3-point specialist open, but unfortunately Chris Hines has not had the best day on defense. Mitchell Drew with the shot clock winding down. That bank shot would be off, but Anna Gagne with the biggest rebound of the ball game, giving us the lead with 2 minutes left. We got 5 timeouts. Shaka Smart says if we get in trouble, don't be afraid to burn one. We're doing a great job on turnovers. Only 1 for this entire second half. Got plenty of fouls to give, so don't be afraid to play a little physical now. Except if you're me. as I'm still playing with 4 fouls. But look at this pick and roll. Just unlucky. Almost drops the pass, but unfortunately he does pick up the basketball and put in that and one. But ball don't lie. He misses that free throws. That one looked a little chippy to me too. And I get a lane off of the missed free throw. The best time to run in basketball is off of that missed free throw. And we make good there. And Mitchell Drew wide open from the baseline. No good again. But Robert Saunders, no good on the second effort. He gets rejected. Spiked into the ground, per se. And now they're just lobbing on us in the clutch. Zaire Hicks with his 8 assists as Oliver worked. He gets it done inside as well, as he's shooting over 60% for the ball game. But look at this screen. I take a clutch jump shot that would rattle in. Great screen there, as that frees me up to perfection. 14 on the ball game for me. We need to stop here. We hold a 1-point game. Inside to Phil Brower. He tries the post move. That one would just rim out as I pull down the clutch rebound. That's 3 for me, and I slow it up. 22 seconds left. They're running that zone, so we run our zone motion. Anigane flashes. Robert Saunders cuts. Robert Saunders has given us a 3-point game with 1 possession left in this ball game. 10 seconds. I almost get stuck on the defense there, but I quickly recover. 5 seconds. Zaire Hicks. He's panicking. Cage back to Hicks for the game. It rims out. Thank goodness this game didn't end like so many games have ended for us this year in heartbreaking, buzzer-beating fashion. 61-58 is your final. We survive and advance, boys. We survive and advance. As the senior Chris Hines, it was apparent he did not want to go home early here in the Sweet 16. We got a ticket punched to Houston, Texas. We are going to the Elite 8 to face a very familiar opponent. Just wait till you guys see who we're facing next. Oh, you guys are going to love this. Like so many other games for VCU, they gave a Power 5 school a run for their money, but we survive. I did a pretty good job on Zaire Hicks. Only 6 points, 8 assists. Didn't shoot very well. Didn't get a lot of shots up. And I managed not to foul out. But look at who we're playing next. Kansas destroys Rhode Island, as every game they've made quick work of in the tournament so far. First matchup with KU. Almost knocked them off. So close of that upset win. And then the second time we played them, of course you guys already know, that was the championship of the Big 12 tournament. And we got destroyed partying too much the night before. There's a really strong chance that we might be able to play Ferron's Arizona Wildcats, as if we can win this game, we're either playing Villanova or Arizona in the Final Four. Duke facing St. Louis, as that's the East Regional Final, as Deshaun, despite not starting, is still playing fairly well in the tournament. Unfortunately, just not getting the minutes he deserves. And of course, Wichita State and Florida State, we saw that game before. The matchups are all set. Time to see who's going to be going to the Final Four. It's the 1-seeded Kansas, led by Deshaun Lacey, Jacob Conley, Tamir Rodriguez, or the Texas Longhorns, with the Cinderella story of John Fitzpatrick coming out of nowhere, the freshman sensation. Mitchell Drew with a bright future, and Chris Hines. Man, the myth, the legend, Chris Hines, who's come out of nowhere in the second half of the season and has exploded offensively. Not to mention Moses and Aganye inside, locking things up, holding things down. We need to play a lot better on the inside if we're going to compete with these guys this game. As in the Big 12 championship, Kansas had over 50 points in the paint against us. As a team, we win the jump ball once again, and we'll get the biggest game of the season underway. It was apparent our defense was a lot better this game. We haven't even allowed a basket to Kansas almost 2 minutes into the ball game, as the way we get on the board is an offensive rebound and putback by Moses. And it's a 2-2 ball game here. As look at Chris Hines, man, he is doing everything. That's an and one, and he'd make the free throw. I got Tamir Rodriguez on me, so I take it to the right side of the basket. Help defense is nowhere to be seen. And that's my first basket of the game, as the offenses are starting to pick up now quickly. And Agani tries to isolate, and he gets slapped in the face No call whatsoever, as somehow they get that pass in there. Let's take a look. Anagani was down for a while there after that play, and he'd have to come out. Shaka Smart would sub him out as he had a cut above his right eye, and he would not play very many minutes in this first half. As Isaac Ashley, you see him checking in and inbounding the ball to me, as Anagani needs to get patched up. A screen for me as I split the hedge of that screen, as the big guy tried to come and help out, but instead I just split the two guys, the two defenders. But look at this play. Another play making it apparent that I need to hit the weight room more. Deshaun Lacey open, and that's my bad. It's tough to play defense on a 3-on-2, but I needed to get out there faster. 15-11 game, and that's a risky pass. Chris Hines, I'm not really sure why he didn't take it all the way, but I see Isaac Ashley wide open. He has a lane, and he'll stop and pop, giving me the assist anyway. 26-19 game. Definitely doing a lot better than the last excursion with these guys, as I get the matchup up in the air, the big man, just a little ball fake's all it takes. And with the clock winding down, under a minute of play, look at this lob. KU, I was mad after that one. I didn't want that lob to go unanswered. So I set a screen here, I get open, and of course this pass and cut, pass and screen offense that we run seems to get me open a fair amount. We get a good closeout there on Deshaun Lacey, and we're off to the races. I didn't want to let that glob go unanswered, so I decided to oop my guy, Chris Hines, soaring up. Only a little lay-in lob from Kansas, but Chris Hines took no prisoners on that one. He took it, flushed it down with the left hand. And we're going to the half. Despite being down 5, it's a lot better than being down by 24 at the half last game. Plus, the momentum is shifting in our direction. The only thing that we need to do is we just need to slow down this offense a tad. Over 60% from Kansas in this first half. We need to do anything we can to slow down this potent offense, as honestly, Kansas, we've played Duke, we've played Kansas 3 times, and I think Kansas is the best team in the entire nation, college basketball this year. So we need to do anything. We need to find some type of way to stop these guys as I come out immediately, and I'm already in double figures here with that layup, opening up the second half of play. And I don't know who this guy was lobbing. That's an easy steal for me. That's 2 for the game. And I tell him, I'll show you how to lob if you really want to lob, buddy. Chris Hines flushing it down before. On this lob, he gets an and 1 because the Kansas defender was in his path going up for the lob, so they called a blocking foul on him. Chris Hines, man, he is turning into an all-around beast, honestly. Coming out of nowhere, too. Nice pass in there to Anagani. He gets blocked one time, but he regains possession. Remains resilient there, and that's all we can really ask for him. Jacob Conley gets a step on me, but I recover. And look at this play. This is why I say Kansas is the best team in the nation. Their entire team can pass. It's so hard to play defense on them, but Brad Belcher gets those 2 points right back, as there's an assist for me on the risky pass that goes full court, but somehow gets in there to Brad Belcher. Got Tamir Rodriguez on me. I faked the in between the legs and the behind the back, but instead of going behind the back, I just switch directions immediately, going up for the reverse layup. Got to do something different every time you drive when you're 5'10", playing at this level. It's tied at 59, and this is just me doing too much right here. I get it ripped from me. I almost get the steal right back. I almost even chased down Deshaun Lacey, but I was just not quick enough there. So I need to slow down what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do too much. Many young players fall into that, so I need to limit that. But I do get those 2 points right back. Pick and roll with Anagani. 4 assists for me on the game, and Anagani has 12. We are keeping pace with KU, but unfortunately Chris Hines leaving Jacob Conley, the deadly Jacob Conley, wide open. Don't know where Hines was there, as his defense has hurt us a couple times this season. But look at Mitchell Drew, right in the face of the defender, getting those 3 points right back. And look at Chris Hines making up for that 3-point bomb they let up, getting the steal and taking it coast to coast. Hines with 15. We've got the lead with 3:45 left to go in this game. Jacob Conley, though, wants to answer back, and he does through the tough contact. He'll tie the game again. This one has been a roller coaster ride of a ball game, but look at Tamir Rodriguez driving. He has a big free throws here, as it's already a 2-point game for Kansas with 2:20 left on the clock. But Tamir Rodriguez had 2 clutch free throws last game that he missed both of. That left the door open for us to get back in the game, but this time he converts on the first as the 3-point cushion for the Jayhawks of Kansas. Rodriguez still has 1 more though to push it to 4. He cannot make the game 2 possessions. So we have a chance of at least tying the game here, but really at this point in the game we're just trying to find the best shot that we can. So I give it up and I cut through. Now I have Rodriguez on me. But now they switch back into a 2-3 zone. I decide to pop it. It's off the front iron, but it falls into Moses' hands, but he cannot finish. All season long in the clutch, it's just been a struggle to make baskets. It's been a big deal for us. And Jacob Conley making the huge bomb from way downtown. But I've been a little short on passes tonight, so let me show you this little dish I throw inside. No look pass. Steve Nash-esque right there. Just a simple bullet bounce pass that I get in there as I saw Saunders had positioning. Unfortunately, Saunders also allows positioning for Ben Shiloh down there underneath the basket, pushing the lead back to 6. So we run our pass and screen offense, but Chris Hines wants none of that. He just takes it baseline immediately. That's 17 for him. And the senior trying for this not to be his final game in a college jersey as we get a stop. We get the stop we need, and I take it all the way. I'm getting a little deja vu from the last time we matched up with Kansas, as, you know, we made a late run to get back in that game too. Or I should say the first meeting with Kansas. But unfortunately, Jacob Conley takes it all the way, and that would pretty much seal it. As I think I'm going to get blocked here, but instead I take it out. We would not score on this possession. I should have just taken the layup there. Bad decision on my part. Saunders fouls, and we just have to pray for a couple misses here at the free throw stripe. Deshaun Lacey shooting 87% from the line this season. That's good. That is good. 5-point cushion for these Jayhawks. Lacey with another one, and he'll make 2 of 2. This is pretty much over now. 6-point game. Pass almost gets stolen here to Chris Hines, but instead he gets it, but not a good shot selection here as he gets blocked. And unfortunately, that's going to wrap up the game. The end of the freshman year of John Fitzpatrick, the end of the career of Chris Hines and Justin Proctor as their seniors. 80-72 loss here in the Elite 8 to Kansas. 0-3 at Kansas on the year. That's what hurts the most, but I had a good game though. 14-6, 4 steals. In his final college game, Chris Hines was 17 points, 4 steals. He can hang his head on that he was the top scorer for his team in his final college game. This one was a heartbreaker though. You guys already know how bad we wanted to beat Kansas, but unfortunately we couldn't get it done here in my freshman year. 0-3 against the Jayhawks. I'll have the season wrap up. I'll have the off-season recap. I'll have a whole bunch of content for you wrapping up what went off this off-season. And let me tell you, the time in between this season and next season was crazy. Stay tuned. We have a lot of twists and turns coming up.